There was a day not long ago when I hit snooze for the 5th time and stared at the ceiling with the same old question echoing in my mind. What the hell am I doing with my life? That moment, as small and silent as it was, changed everything. Because that was the day I admitted something brutal. I wasn't tired. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was lazy. I was done being lazy. I decided to reset my mindset for 60 days and see what would happen if I gave everything I had to becoming the version of me I always talked about, but never actually became. This is not a miracle story. It's not about some magic morning routine or a motivational high that carried me through. This is about struggle, it's discipline, sacrifice. It's about rewiring a brain that had become addicted to comfort, distraction, and excuses. Let me take you back to day 1. I didn't start with a full plan. Started with a mirror and a promise, I told myself. For the next 60 days, your comfort doesn't matter. Your feelings don't matter. Only your growth matters. Started with the basics. Wake up at 5:30 a.m. No phone for the first hour. Hydrate. Make the bed. Journal 1 page. Read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. Small things. But that's the trick, stacking small wins. Because lazy people, like I was, aren't unmotivated. We're just stuck in a loop of mental shortcuts. We chase dopamine hits from screens instead of building momentum from discipline. In the first week, I felt like quitting every single day. My body wasn't used to movement. My mind wasn't used to silence. And my ego hated being uncomfortable. I realized quickly that laziness isn't just about lying around. It's a defense mechanism. It's how we hide from the pressure of our own potential. We say, I'll start tomorrow because we were terrified of what it would mean if we actually committed today. But I kept showing up. That's it. I didn't need to be great. I just needed to keep showing up. By day 10, I hit my first wall. My motivation evaporated. I had no energy, no excitement. I didn't want to read, work out, write, or think. But this was the test. It's the first real test. And it taught me the most important lesson of the entire journey. Motivation is trash. It will lie to you. Discipline is what shows up when motivation ghosts you. So I changed my focus. I stopped chasing motivation. I started tracking habits. I wrote down every task I completed. 30-minute walk? Check. Read 10 pages? Check. Cold shower? Check. Each checkmark became proof that I was becoming the person I said I would be. Then came day 15. That's when the internal war began. The lazy voice came back louder than ever. This is pointless. No one's watching. You're not changing anything. But this time, I had momentum. I had proof. So I answered that voice with action. I didn't negotiate with it. I didn't give it a seat at the table. I buried it under discipline. I added a new rule. No complaining. At all. Not out loud, not in my head. Every time I caught myself about to whine, I replaced it with a question. What needs to be done right now? That simple shift changed my entire attitude. Because when you stop complaining, you force yourself to solve instead of sulk. Around day 20, I started noticing changes. Not physical ones, those would come later. I mean mental clarity. My thoughts weren't as scattered. I wasn't as reactive. I didn't feel like I was being dragged through the day anymore. I was leading it. That's when I realized. Mindset isn't something you're born with, it's something you train. It's like a muscle, and mine had been weak for years. One of the biggest turning points came on day 27. I sat down to journal and noticed that my entries were different. They weren't rants or complaints anymore. They were strategies, goals, ideas, plans. I had stopped writing like a victim and started writing like a leader. It was the first time I truly believed I was becoming someone new. By day 30, I didn't even recognize the old version of me. Not because everything was perfect, but because I was finally in control. I was intentional. I was deliberate. I didn't need a reason to get up and work. I did it because that's who I was now. But here's the truth they never tell you. Transformation is not glamorous. It's not a highlight reel. It's gritty, lonely, uncomfortable. And it doesn't give you instant feedback. You don't get applause for waking up early or skipping junk food. No one cares if you read a book or went to the gym, but that's exactly why it works, because it separates you from the crowd. Because while everyone else is chasing comfort, you're chasing growth. The second half of my 60-day reset was all about refinement. I fine-tuned my routines. I experimented with different types of workouts. I cut out time wasters. I added daily gratitude. I started saying no to anything that didn't align with the person I was building. I stopped chasing short-term pleasure, so that meant no junk food, no binge watching, no endless scrolling, moving daily, and going to bed early. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to protect my energy. Lazy people burn out quickly because they spend energy on the wrong things. I stopped spending energy on gossip, drama, distraction, and guilt. I started investing energy in purpose. By day 45, the people around me started to notice. My posture was different. My speech was clearer. I wasn't easily irritated anymore. I carried myself like someone with intention. That's the power of a reset. It doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you show up. But the biggest surprise came on day 51. I had a full day of chaos. Everything went wrong, missed deadlines, equipment failure, a last-minute emergency. Old me would have shut down, complained, escaped into some video game or binge session, but new me didn't even flinch. Stayed calm, focused. I handled it. That's when I knew the reset had worked, because I didn't need life to be easy to stay strong anymore. On day 58, I had a strange realization. I wasn't counting down the days anymore. I wasn't just surviving the reset. I was living in it, thriving in it. I didn't want it to end. Because it wasn't a challenge anymore. It was my new normal. When day 60 came, I didn't celebrate. I didn't throw a party or post some grand announcement. I just woke up, made my bed, and started the day like any other. Because legendary isn't about a finish line, it's about a lifestyle. From lazy to legendary doesn't mean you become superhuman overnight. It means you kill off the version of you that made excuses and replace it with one who takes action. It means you stop seeking shortcuts and start building systems. It means you fall in love with the process, not the praise. I'm not special. I didn't have a coach or a course or a cheat code. I just decided to stop lying to myself. I got honest. Brutally honest. I admitted that I was wasting time, talent, and potential, and I made a choice. That's it. That's how it starts. If you're watching this and you feel stuck, lost, lazy good, it means you're self-aware. Now you just need to be self-responsible. You don't need a new year. You don't need perfect timing. You need 60 days of ruthless consistency. You need to suffer a little, sacrifice a little, silence the world and listen to your future self screaming for change. The only difference between who I was and who I am now is that I stopped quitting. I stopped negotiating with laziness, stopped needing everything to feel good before I started. I started with discipline. Then momentum followed. Then pride. Then purpose. It's been months since I finished the reset, but honestly, it never really ended. I'm still doing the same things, still stacking the same habits, still building the same mindset, because the truth is, once you've tasted the power of intentional living, laziness becomes unbearable. You're not lazy because you lack potential. You're lazy because you haven't tasted what it feels like to own your life. But once you do, there's no going back. Start your 60-day reset. Start now, not tomorrow, not Monday. Now, you don't need to believe in yourself. You just need to commit. The belief will come later. The discipline will build it. And one day soon, you'll look back and say the same words I did. That moment changed everything.